Welcome to the National Football Tuesdays weekly show where we talk about news that happened that week in the NFL. Hello and welcome to National Football Tuesdays, as that title may change in the future, but that's what we are right now. This is where I talk about some of the weekly news that's going on in the NFL this week. Alright, we're going to get right into the first story. A.J. McCarron, backup quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, what? You never heard of him? I'm not surprised. I really haven't focused on him either. But former defensive end Wallace Gilberry has been raving about him, and if he can become a threat to Andy Dalton and the starting quarterback role with the Bengals. Me, personally, I just can't see McCarron as the starter. Not just because of Dalton's 6-year, $96 million deal, but Dalton, despite not having much success as a postseason player, he has led them to the playoffs for at least the past 2 seasons. Alright, Taylor Mays, ex-Bengal, 49er, and now ex-Viking. The Minnesota Vikings released Mays on June 16th, but Taylor Mays wasn't out of an NFL job for long, because the Detroit Lions have announced they have signed Mr. Mays as most likely a special teams player, and maybe he can make some plays on some sub packages in that defense. Mays has only played 4 games in his 4 years with the Cincinnati Bengals, so you Taylor Mays fans shouldn't be holding your breath about him being a starter with the Detroit Lions. Another Bengals story? Must be a big week for the Bengals. Terrelle Pryor. He played for the Raiders, the Seahawks, the Chiefs, and the Bengals. And, well, the whole quarterback thing really hasn't worked out for him in the NFL. I think he also realized that because he wants everyone to know that he is open to a position change. Which position does he say he is now? He said he wants to be considered as a wide receiver. I think the 6'5" Terrelle Pryor would be a better fit at tight end rather than wide receiver, but it's his choice, not mine. And now, notable releases, signings, and retirements in the NFL. In releasing news, the Patriots have released tight end Fred Davis. Davis was signed during the 2015 offseason, as well as Chris Ogbanea has announced his retirement from the NFL. Ogbanea had played with the Giants, the Browns, the Panthers, the Texans, and the Rams, all since 2009. As well as that, the Cincinnati Bengals, that's right, they're back here, have announced the release of safety Taylor Mays and quarterback/wide receiver Terrelle Pryor. I know, big shocker. It's not like you heard about that earlier in this. Then, the Chicago Bears have signed safety Sherrod Martin and running back Daniel Thomas. Interesting signings for them. Well, they also released some players to make room for them. They released quarterback Pat Devlin, what seemed like rookie kicker Jeremiah Detmer, and tight end Jacob Maxwell. Well, through all this, the Detroit Lions had signed Taylor Mays. He seems to be popping up a lot in this week's episode. As well, they released cornerback Bill Bentley, who was drafted in 2012 but has been plagued with injuries, and now that has announced his release from the Detroit Lions. Alright, that was this week's episode of National Football Tuesdays. Now, once again, you could kind of figure I'll be back here again on Tuesday to give you more NFL news that came throughout the week. See you then.